Yeah, always interesting different communities of people and stuff when it comes to, especially the blue collar workforces, I call them. I don't know what the true definitional name is, but people who work outside. But you definitely meet a lot of different characters. You either meet people that are way too smart and then you wonder why the hell they're here, or people that are totally way too dumb and you wonder why they're not somewhere else. It's hard to find the in-betweeners. So you're just like, hey, this is a great job for you. It's either like you're way too freaking dumb, or man, why aren't you building airplanes or something? Like, geez Louise, buddy. So what do you want to do after school? What's your plan?
Probably hit the woods, honestly.
Doctor, right? I knew it. Orthopedic surgeon, I called it. I could tell just by the way you flung them trees. You gonna go in the woods? Are you gonna like do logging then? What's your plan?
That's my goal.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to find a job around here, small town.
Oh yeah. You looking for operating then? That's kind of the theory.
Yeah.
If you can.
Find somebody that's willing to hire somebody young, even though I got 30 years of experience. At 17.
Well, of course.
I know what
yeah.
I'm doing.
Oh yeah. 17 with 45-year veteran. Every piece of machine you've ever seen, son. I've run it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Laid eyes on it. I knew how to do it.
You know what you do? That's how I got into it. Was same thing. Small town. Not a lot of people want to hire you here. So either you find friends. I mean, I had one friend who is just conveniently worked out for me where I was able to run some heavy equipment to kind of get a feel for it. But if you don't have a friend, there's two ways, right? There's the start as a laborer and then hope to God you get a second where they'll let you into a machine eventually. But I personally don't really like that method unless you actually have a good boss. I've gone that route where I was like, oh, I'll just be a laborer and then eventually I'll get a machine, but the boss is just a twat and it never happened. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to be a laborer forever. So the best way is go to a place where it's like heavy equipment based, like especially logging, because most logging is all heavy equipment based, where it's not like there's labor, but there's not much labor. It's mostly the machines working all the time. And just tell them, you know, like, I have a real good knack for equipment. I have experience on equipment, like, you know, whether it be simulators or whether it be reality, you've run some machines and you got a good feel for it. And what I said was, I would like to have a job, and what I'll do is you can pay me a absolute garbage training wage to test me out to see if I'm worth training. And a lot of guys love that because best case scenario, you turn into a great operator and work for them. Worst case scenario, they pay you really cheaply and they're going to watch you like a hawk so you don't break their machine. So they really have nothing to lose from it. And yeah, that's how me and my other buddy got lots of equipment jobs, just saying, hey, you know, I'll work for, you know, 30%, 40% less than what you're paying your regular guys just to get started. And after, you know, 4 months, 6 months, whatever, if you think I'm really good, then, you know, we can talk about long-term employment or paying me the rates of your good operators. And sometimes it works, but at least it gets you a seat time. That's kind of the big one, right? Just getting time on the actual equipment. Because a lot of guys don't want to put some young kid that doesn't know shit about shit in a, you know, $300,000, $400,000 machine, which is understandable. I can totally respect that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some new guys wreck the living shit out of really nice stuff because our companies took chances on them. And I'm like, why would you do that without training them first? He said he'd been doing it for years. Well, it's like...
Doesn't even have a beard.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had tons of guys at different sites that are just like brand new. And all you gotta do is watch them for like 10 minutes to know if they've ever operated equipment before. And it's like, oh man, some of my managers in the past, I don't know, man. It's just like, they won't even come out to the site to watch. They're just like, oh, they'll just send a guy and be like, oh, yeah, he's been doing it for a long time. He said he was really good, so just let him do his thing. And then next thing you know, you're like, oh, it's just bad. Like, I've had people almost roll machines and just doing crazy shit. And it's just like, man, like, oh... Like, did you guys not think about put him in a machine and, like, let him drive around the yard to show you he knows what he's doing, like, for 5 seconds before just sending him straight into production? Like, you're crazy. But that's, you know, a good manager, I think, would do that probably.
I'm fortunate enough that my uncle is a log truck driver, so There's a
Oh,
few companies that
there
they
you
call
go.
for.
Hey, sweet. Well, that'd be a good
I
deal.
might be able to get in with, so
Yeah, freaking rights, man.
just
Yeah.
takes time.
What do you, are you just anything, or is there any particular goal you're chasing? Like for what machine to run or what position?
I was kind of looking at loader,
Loader,
and
yeah.
I was like, well, maybe a skidder. I was like, well, I saw
Skidder's
movies like that
Skidder's
too,
like
though.
the good starting place to get your foot in the door from everywhere I've worked. Everybody wants you to run Skidder first, because Skidder apparently is the easiest job, even though it's really not the easiest job. I think there's a lot of crazy amount of skill that you need to set up a landing properly. Some guys,
I love doing it in this. It's just fun.
yeah, skidding's pretty. I've sat in skidders, but I've never actually got to drive one around. I've driven wheel loaders, like big ass John Deere 744s and crazy stuff like that. And I mean, from what I hear, it ain't a whole lot different from driving a wheel loader. You just got a grapple on the ass instead of a bucket on the front. So that's pretty much the. Obviously, you're doing different type of work, but yeah, I would love to just pull some skids one day. That'd be fun. Do some crazy stuff. But yeah, I think most places now, like, it doesn't seem like any. It doesn't seem like it's any company is a one person, like, unless you're in a really high production, heavy, like, large company logging group. It's usually not one position. It's like, oh, okay, well, if you want to be an operator, okay, you got to run the grader, you got to run the the loader, the skidder, the everything. Like, you got to be diverse to switch from machine to machine. That's what they really want. So if somebody's sick, they can just pull you off of one machine that's not needed and put you on another one, kind of thing. That seems to be most groups. And it's cheaper for the company that way. Because then you don't just have a guy that's out there. It's like, well, I'm the loader. And then it's like, okay, well, we don't have any wood to load. And it's like, okay, well, I'll just sit here then. And it's like, no. It's like, you got to do something, right? Yeah. Because I've definitely worked for a company that was like that, where we had two guys that were, and it wasn't like a union job or nothing. It was just these two guys refused to do anything except for this one job that they wanted to do, which was like loading, and it wasn't logging, it was a different job, but it was loading in a form related to it. And they would never ever, if the other machines were down, it's like everybody else would just like pick up the slack and go jump on a different machine and help out. And these guys would just, nope, I'm just gonna sit in my loader all day long and do nothing until there's something to load. And I was like, man, what a piss poor attitude.
Yeah.
So don't be that guy.
That's why, like, I feel like being a ground guy first definitely helps, because you get to watch everything.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's also it too, right? That's why, like, even buncher operators, like people that are buncher operators, it's like they need to be skidder operator first before they can be a. I think you should always do the job behind you first before you do the primary job, so that you know what you're looking for. Like, I wouldn't want to put a guy in a buncher that's never skidded before, because like he needs to go through the sacrifices of knowing what a good pile is and a bad pile is. So when you're on the other end, you know if you're just roasting the next guy or not.
Yeah.
And some companies are good for that, and some really just aren't. I feel a lot of the higher unionized companies are bad for that, where they'll just put any shithead in there who's never done the job or has done the job, and they have to learn from people yelling at them instead of like having the experience of knowing, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that because that's bad. But to each their own.
I could care less if I was sitting on the ground driving a truck for 8 hours. It's just being around the equipment is what I love.
Yeah, totally, right? Yeah, and honestly, the as much as a lot of people chase operator seats, it's like, it's okay for a bit, but I mean, after running production, both wheel loader, skid steer, loader, everything, like, man, after you sit in that thing for like 10, 12 hours a day, it's like, I love when I have to get out to do something. Like, I would rather get out multiple times a day to go, like somebody's like, oh, I blew a line or I blew a hose and I'm so miserable that I have to, I'm like, God, I'm like, give me something, give me a reason to get out of this thing for like even a half hour here and there. Because like sometimes you just sit in that thing all day and it's just like, oh my God, it gets so monotonous. But whether you're working or not, your brain just kind of goes into autopilot and you don't even think about it anymore. But that's production jobs. I don't think humans are meant to do one repetitive task over and over and over and over for like 700 hours a day. I don't think it's good for you mentally.
Yeah.
But you got soft hands, brother. You better do it. I always love those TikToks. We always make fun of them. The ones with the, if your hands don't look like this, then you're not working. You know, he's got like his hand, he's got his sandwich or whatever with his hand covered in like 2 barrels of grease and mud and sticks. I thought those were funny. I was like, man, we all know guys that are this guy for sure. Like without a doubt. Oh, I was about to tip my truck. There we go. Like your cowboy friends there. Just like your cowboy friends. Sorry, cowboy co-students. Let's not call them friends. Co-students. Yeah, thank you. You freaking load. I'm like 3 trucks in, 4 trucks in here. It's all you. You want to be the loaderman in the bush? Get to work, eh? You want me to back up a bit, or is that good? I'm a little far, eh? Ah, you'll reach. That's got a long arm on it. You'll be alright. If not, you're a truck driver. See, there you go. You can do every job too. Knock out some of these limbs. Oh man, you got me just barreled with wood here. Where did all this come from? Did you hack all this down last time?
No, I cut some of it. Kind of like half and half. Some of it was here already.
Good lord. That's a lot. We have unlimited wood, unlimited loading. Yeah, prepared.
Prepared for all them speed runs.
I should have got that. I should get that 3 bunk trailer. 'Cause these are 5s. They'll fit 3 on that. 3 sets of 5s. Actually, I like the new. The new hay racks coming out in the 1.5. There's no more of this 1 bunk, 2 bunk crap. It's all just one hay rack, and the way it's laid out, it actually supports the trees pretty good space wise. So you can put 2 bunks of 6s, 2 bunks of 8s, 2 bunks of 7s, 3 bunks of 5s. It works out pretty good, but it's all just one trailer. I'm sick of this back and forth. That B train's good too, the one you're driving there too, but it's or the one you're loading. But it's nice to have one good hay rack that I can just abuse. Just abuse. Did you try out that buncher at all that I posted?
No, I haven't done that yet.
I think Victor was the only one that tried it. But yeah, it's pretty improved over the last one. I still wish I could get those cut notes better, but goddamn, we're kind of just breaking the system the way we're doing it, and I don't think the game really likes what we're doing, so I don't think I can make it much more than it already is. Unfortunately. We get this one out of here now? Oh, it's a pretty tall order. This one log is like trapped under here. And it is really in there.
Some of those skids were a bit heavy, so they're
oh, I bet. All these are like the Gimundo logs, so yeah.
I love these trees, though.
Yeah, I like them too for like, one, because it doesn't take many of them to make a giant pile or a bunk. So I can process for a little bit, and it doesn't take me long to build a full bunk, so it's easy to keep the loaders busy. You get those small ones, it's like 45 minutes of processing for like 10 minutes of loading.
I need to do the processors and forkers again. That was fun.
Which one? Oh yeah, that worked out pretty good. We should do that with this team. It'd probably be really good with you guys. In the public crew, it wasn't quite as good because people were fighting with the machines, but everybody here is pretty good with all of them. The power of new. What's that?
Me and Flirty with the cable skidder and grapple skidder were pretty chill.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just go cut and drag, cut and drag, cut and drag. That's the way to do it. Yeah, just one little bit at a time. Geez, 9:30. Nobody's showing up yet. This will be us then. We're the men of the hour. That's okay. People are allowed to have other lives outside of this game, I guess. I suppose. What did I say? Be there, be square. Guess who's square? Those folk. I'm getting this freaking get to stack this stuff up pretty high when they get the big pieces. Eh? Look how high this pile's going. It's starting to get a little rickety rick here. Do me a favor, claw that pile back just towards you a little bit so it rolls down. And I'll be able to build in the middle here a little bit better. And then you'll have your trees closer to you, sir. Yeah. Big space right there. Oh, there's two of you. You got a separate text that's attacking your... Oh, there you go. He's gone now. He was like hopping on your track. It looked really funny. Just jumping up and down. I'm like, alright, cool. So your dad's a truck driver, hey?
My uncle.
Oh, uncle, sorry. How long has he done that for? Lifer?
He's done it kind of off and on. He was a police officer for a while.
Oh, no way. How about your dad? What does your dad do?
He is a...
Interrogating you.
He's a sawmill technician on Advisor Sawmills.
Oh, cool. A sawmill tech. Oh, so like with the computers and stuff, or is it mostly the like the outside saws and stuff?
Just kind of everything.
Everything, eh? Yeah.
What he knows.
How big of a mill is that one?
They're portable sawmills. So.
Sorry, the portable ones. Oh yeah, okay.
Yep.
Man, that's pretty cool. I think somebody up here has one of those actually that I know of. My dad has a little portable sawmill, but it's not like a sawmill. It's a little it's like a band mill, I guess you'd call it. A little bit different, but yeah, he makes all his own boards, builds his own shit out of it. It's pretty cool. Was your dad pretty heavy in the logging industry growing up or anything, or?
Kind of like my uncle, just mix of everything.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't until like FS22 I started to really get into logging. I'm probably the only one that's really in it.
Cool.
Compared to everybody else.
That's all right.
Other than my uncle, but he's a trucker, not an equipment operator.
Yeah. Fair enough. What about brothers or sisters? Any of those that play this kind of stuff or no?
Nah. I
Nope.
got one sister, and she's just living life.
Oh yeah. Older or younger sister? Older, yeah. Same with me. I got an older sister too. She's living life, but in a very different way, unfortunately. Partied a little too hard.
Wow.
That's the way she goes. Can't pick your family, Tex. You can't do it, man.
Nope.
You just can't. You get what the cards draw.
That's why I play this. I play everybody else.
Yeah, that's right. It's good. It's a good. It fulfills the inner need to do something distracting, yet at the same time satisfying for your brain. Something about moving blocks or logs around all day in this game that's just super satisfying. Especially if you have any kind of like OCD or something, it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Just gotta keep moving them, loading them. What do you get more satisfaction out of, loading small logs or big logs?
I guess our area is more longwood, so I prefer to do longer logs.
Long logs? And what about like size-wise? Do you like littler pieces or like really big fat pumpkins?
Probably this size.
This size, yeah. I don't know why, but like the Green River Valley ones, those little tiny toothpicks. When I get like a good bundles of those, I don't know why, but it's so satisfying grabbing a grapple full of those and loading them. I just freaking love it.
The trees on Legion Hills, I like those too.
Yeah, those are a good mix too. They're kind of a good balance. Rolling. Yeah, I need to... Oh, well, that challenge thing's coming down. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I just remembered that now. The challenge map's pretty much done. Well, I mean, like, you know, beta done, I guess you could say. I should send over a copy for people to play with. But I've only got 4 challenges on it at the moment. And then I was trying to think of some other ideas for them. But I think that actually turned out to work out pretty good. The last one we did before... Like, I've done this before. This isn't like a new thing. I did it in... I can't remember if it was 19 or 17. I think it was 19 I did the challenges.
I think it was.
Yeah, 19, I think. And that was actually pretty fun. A little bit different than compared to now, but I think it'd be kind of fun to do leaderboards and like prizes and stuff. I think it'd be just community-wise. I think it'd be really entertaining. Get people in the groove.
Really fun to test people's skill and just kind of like I said, you know, it'll be fun to see all the hurt feelings.
Oh yeah, well that's what makes it fun.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's gonna make it good. The so like the challenges, the way they're set up are gonna be time trial based because that's kind of the only way you can really do it. So basically, the way I've set it up is there's that red line you saw on the ground on the maps. So that's your tracks. I don't care where your grapple is, but your tracks have to be on that line before you start. And then once you start, you do the challenge, whatever it be. And then at the very end, you have to put your grapple down into this red square after you're completed the task, whatever the task is. And that'll be the end time. As soon as that grapple hits that red square, that's when the timer stops. That's kind of how I'm doing it. That was kind of the only way I could think of to keeping it like to a set start stop kind of easy point for a judge to tell when it's over kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because if not, there's going to be discrepancies of like, oh well, as soon as the last log hits the load, and it's like, well, that's going to be too easy for somebody to be like, well, I don't know, maybe that was it, maybe that wasn't it. But if I always have like, as soon as that you're done, you march over and try to slam your grapple down onto that red button, that's the end. Then we know, and the judge can be like, well, stop the timer as soon as that thing enters the red square, boom, done. And then I was thinking of, so there's like truck loading as one of the challenges, right? So we got long logs and short logs for loading the truck as fast as you can. And I was thinking, because loading kind of has the whole like quality to it, right? Like it's not just who can chuck them onto the truck in a big mess the fastest, but like, you know, it's easy to miss the bunks or have them slip out or drop. So I was thinking of like penalties to your time if you lose a log and it falls off the other side, or it's only half on the truck, that kind of stuff. Like that would be deductions in your time. Kind of
highway
like
ready load.
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe you could have bonuses for like appearance if it's loaded like perfectly even or looks a lot nice. You could call it like a clean load and give it an extra bonus or something. I don't know. This is all the stuff that I need to talk to like you guys and the moderators and figure out some fun kind of rules to make it fun.
Somewhere we need to get in there and just kind of mess around.
That's it.
Really test with it.
That's exactly it. And do like kind of a test trial.
Because when you said something about that, I was thinking kind of like, you know, like maybe like 50 trees, or that might be a bit much, but just a rough estimate, whatever. And then who could like bunch process.
And that's, I have a line set up for that. Yeah, totally. So I don't know how many trees it is. The thing is, I didn't want to make it too much because I don't want to sit there for 2 hours watching somebody cut. I just want to see how fast somebody can cut. And I think it probably is like maybe 30, 40 trees or something because they're all pretty small. But it's like I want to see who can cut that the fastest in the time frame. But I don't want like 400 trees and I have to wait 9 minutes per round per each person. Like I just don't have time for that. But if it's like take somebody 5 minutes or something, then that's fine. Yeah, and then just have some sort of trial. So yeah, I'll release. What I'm going to do is I'll release. Well, after we test it and we obviously get it to a state where we're ready to try it, I'll release the maps publicly, or the map, not maps, the map publicly, and let people try the challenges. And when I do release the map, I'm going to do a video showing how you perform each challenge so that it's like easy for people to watch and learn what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
And then after people have had time to practice, I'll just set up like tournament dates where you can basically challenge the time, and you know, maybe moderators can watch, get a few people in there watching so that we can have multiple people checking, make sure it's an official time and do all that kind of stuff. And then we can create some leaderboards and fun stuff like that. I don't know, just for fun. It's a fun community thing. People say I need to do more community stuff like tournaments and challenges, and I agree. I just wasn't sure how to go about it. So we'll try this. I think it'll be kind of fun. Yeah. And like you said, there's going to be some people that are be probably unhappy or butthurt about things, and
it's every competition.
Yeah.
Oh, I lagged here. This log that wasn't fair.
And that's something that I had in 19, where a guy would like start sucking, And then I'm pretty sure he just Alt F4'd and was like, "Oh, I lost connection." And I was like, "Eh, that had nothing to do with you just sucking, though." Eh? So I'm thinking like you get one disconnect or something. Like if it's actual legit disconnect issue, you get like one of those, and then if it does it again, then you're just disqualified, kind of, or you have to try again some other time, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to sit there all day while somebody's like trying to get their best time, trying over and over and over. Because in real life, that, you know, like these Olympic athletes that train all year, they don't get like 30 tries, I don't think, during the Olympics. It's like one competition, you win or you lose, right? That's how it goes. It's not like, oh, can you guys actually, all 30 of you that I'm racing against, can we just stop and restart? Because my shoe is just out of place, and I think that's why I didn't win. Like, that doesn't happen. They go, no pound sand, see you next year. And then the question is, how often do you have the tournaments, right? How often do you do, like, every 3 months?
That would just kind of, like, depend on your time, maybe.
Yeah, every whatever. And then it depends how many people want to enter. I think quite a few people will want to try it.
Yeah,
and like...
the price of your entry fee.
Well, and that was it. I don't know if I want to do that or not. I was thinking of it because I just wanted that for prize, to kind of contribute to the prize money kind of thing. But I was thinking, I think maybe as like the starter, get everybody in there. Like the first tournaments, we don't do any kind of charging. We just let everybody who wants to do it. Maybe keep it restricted to logging crew members or something. That'd probably be a good way to do it. And then maybe later on, if you want to do like a finals kind of challenge where it's like a bigger top competitor guys or whatever, maybe you could charge, or maybe just don't charge at all. That's fine too. Because I mean, the logging crew they're already charged to be here, so maybe that'd just be a bonus of the logging crews you get to enter into the tournaments. Because I was trying to think how I could do that, and I was like, oh, how could I do the... I could leave it open to donations and just say if anybody wants to donate for the pool of prize money or the pool of prize things or whatever, then they're welcome to do that or something too. But I'll just beef it out. It's not going to be like a crazy prize at like for... It's not like somebody's going to win $10,000 or some crazy shit. It's just, you know, it'll be like some random stuff, which I'll just foot the bill personally for that. I'll pay for it. I really don't care. Just to get people out.
$20.
Yeah. $5 and a kick in the ass. Where do you want it? Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm ready to see. There's been a few people that I've played with in the past that, oh yeah, man, I'm good at this. Yeah, man,
You know, it's funny. Maybe they don't do it around me anymore, but I used to get it a lot when I was first starting logging. Yeah, you get guys just bragging up a storm about how they were God's gift to the farming simulator operating world. And whatever, power to people with egos that can do that. I can't. I am way too humble of a human being. I'm not a bragger at all. And some things, like, I inherently know I'm better at certain things than other people. But it's not like I'm gonna go, oh, I'm so much better than you. Like, oh, you're such a... Like, I just think this is the lowest form of, like, human social contact, is bragging about stuff. It's just like, Jesus, man. People, if you're good and you're really good at something, people know that you're good at it. You don't need to talk about it. People will see that you're good at it, and they'll just know you're good. You don't need to walk around telling people. The people walking around telling you that they're so good at something is because they're not good at it. Yeah. In their own minds, they want to be the best, but they're not. The people who are the best don't say anything. They just go, oh, wow, you're doing a great job, and they keep doing their thing, right? Some of the best operators I've ever worked with at job sites, I would never, ever, like on the street, I would never, ever in the world be like, oh, that guy, he's like the world's best logging operator. I would just think it's like some random human being, like, and then you get these other guys at the bar that are just like, I load 35 trucks a minute, and you're just like, shut up. Yeah, the good guys stay quiet. And that's what I always recommend to people. I'm like, if you think you're good, just be good. And if you suck, you're gonna hear about it, so don't worry. Yeah, people will tell you how much you suck, but nobody's gonna tell you how good you are.
People have fragile egos.
Boy, do they ever. It's crazy how fragile the egos become too. It's just, And it's not just for like one thing, it's just like everything in their lives. It's just their personality. They just get shattered by the thought that there's someone that can do anything better than them. I know lots of people like that.
Me too.
Or they'll come over and try to educate you on everything always. But like I was saying before, like I don't mind people trying to educate you on stuff that's like, oh, a new thing that I've never heard of. But it's like, oh, when you tilt your bucket, you know, tilt it more like to a 30-degree angle instead of a 32-degree angle, and you're just like, shut up.
You're just micromanaging.
Yeah, it's like, I get you're trying to sound like you're more important and you know more shit, and it's like, oh yeah, cool, thanks for the advice, and then I just do exactly what I was doing. It's just like, oh, you're not worth the conflict, man. Like, holy jeez. But some people are just, yeah, they think, and I don't know, like, I get it if it's an inherent need to like just want to share information. Like, I'm totally cool with that. Somebody comes over and just wants to share some knowledge, but it feels like it's more of a like, they want to show you they have more knowledge and experience than you, so they'll tell you how to do your job better or something, or differently than what you're doing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. Well, it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, right? Same kind of concept. Let there be light.
Trip me out
Yeah, sorry. Let there be light. But yeah, pretty wild, man. Pretty freaking wild.